Hi, Nicole. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us in your home.
You're welcome.
And I was just chatting with Zac a bit earlier about when you guys first came to Hong Kong. And he mentioned that, it was challenging and you had kept him sort of motivated and told him to stick it out. So it's been a hell of a journey. 2 kids later. Talk to me about that moment. Because, you have all these accomplishments in your life from riding and all the successes, all the group ones, all of that stuff, partnerships, you with TV, and you've got your own thing going now. Congratulations, by the way. Having those little kids, bringing them into this world, like what was that like for you guys? Talk to me a little bit about your personal life where that's concerned, because that's one of your biggest accomplishments, I'm sure, is having those amazing children. So tell me a bit about it.
You lead the way.
What is there to say? Like any parent will agree. It's the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
It's not always easy. We live a very, very fast-paced life. But I think we've been blessed to have our children here and have them grow up in this community and this culture. And I feel lucky that they have been born when Zac's still riding. So they sort of look at him like, not just that he's successful because he wins races, but like the hard work that he puts in and the determination and the drive and the never give up. I am proud that they get to see that, because I don't think that's something that you can just tell a child. You have to see it.
Yeah. Because they emulate, right?
Yeah, they do.
It's funny you say that, because if I come home and I haven't ridden a winner, Cash is like,
really?
Okay, well, I didn't mean it like that.
He gets really dirty, right? And they had a sports carnival a few months back, and on the way there they said, our teacher said, as long as you compete, I said, compete? I said, you got to win.
I'll go back and tell the teacher that. You better be assured of that.
I parent a bit differently. But no, I do think it's been the best thing that we could have ever done. And they're like a mini Zac and Nicole. It's so fun to watch them.
Because obviously you have a lot of following on social media. So watching them, it is literally like a mini you and a mini you.
They've got really good sense of humour, actually. I don't know what they get it from mum, not from me, but they enjoy our life. And I think I'm lucky to have had the kids here in Hong Kong, because we have so much family time. I go to the track in the morning, I can come home and see them before they go to school. I can be here when they're at home, we see them on the weekends. I get to spend a lot of time with them, whereas if I was in Australia...
I'd travel so much,
I'd be off to track work, I wouldn't see them, they'd go to school, I might be at the races, by the time we get home they're already in bed. So you might go a few days without actually seeing your kids. So I think as far as the family goes, it's very rewarding from that side of it.
And they were both born in Hong Kong?
Yes.
And that's amazing for them to go back to Australia and have all this exposure to culture, to the schooling system here. Are they learning a language, a second language? Is it mandatory? They are?
They're meant to be learning Mandarin.
Yeah.
Okay.
They learn it every day, but they can't really say very much.
Okay. Well, at least they're trying. I mean, credit.
Well, they're not really trying either.
I think Roxy picks up a little bit. Cash just floats along. I was asking him the other day, I said, can you say China in Mandarin? He goes, no, Daddy, we're learning fruits. I said, okay. I said, how do you say apple? He goes, I don't know. So, I don't think he's that switched on. But he knows how to speak Filipino.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like that.
That's amazing.
He and Melanie, they are chatting away all day.
That's great.
Yeah.
They're like best friends.
Yeah, it's very
I wonder how it would impact them moving back to Australia when you guys are ready. It'll be quite a shock.
I'm only laughing because we've been back a few times recently since COVID, and we were out and somebody suggested when the kids were thirsty to go to the bubbler, a water bubbler.
Okay.
They're not that popular in Hong Kong. So the children, first of all, didn't know what it was. Then when they were told or shown what it was, they stood there waiting for the water to just automatically burst into their mouth. And then recently, the number one thing they wanted to do on our holiday to Sydney was feed the seagulls chips, which, as we know as Australians, you do not
feed the seagulls anywhere.
Well, it ended up, of course, with me running like a mad woman across Coogee Beach, being chased by these seagulls because they ditched the packet of chips. But anyway, they're absolute tourists when they go home. Which I think sometimes we are a little bit too.
It's difficult. It's been home now for how long for you guys?
16 years I've done here,
That's home.
Yeah, so Nicole,
so many ways.
I think she was 18.
I just turned 19 when we arrived.
When I met you.
Oh, yeah, 18.
Yeah,
So where did you guys
when
meet?
I met her, and then we come here when she was 19, so.
Wow. So where did you meet? How did you meet? Because you're from a horse racing family.
Yes. Well, we kept it in the horse racing.
Clearly.
Yeah, we met at Randwick Racecourse.
Okay.
Unbeknownst to me, Nicole had her eye on me for a little bit of
Oh,
time.
is that how it was?
Exactly what happened.
Oh, is that how? Let's hear your story.
Well, I was
your
just
side of
waiting
it.
for my dad.
Yeah.
He was still riding at the time. And yeah, Zac walked out and we got chatting. Our paths crossed a little bit there. And then I think we met up at the horse sales. I always had some friends that would come from New Zealand to buy horses. So on Oaks Day, they would have the sales on that Wednesday night at the old Inglis sale yard. And we went down there with our friends just to see if they were going to buy anything. And walked around the corner and walked straight into the man of my dreams.
There he was. There he was. Wow. And then you started dating sort of from that point on, and
Couldn't get rid of
I
her.
was just going to say I couldn't get rid of him, but I knew you were going to say that.
He beat you to it this time. He beat you to it. Yeah. So
then
that's
we've been
it.
together ever since.
So one of the morals to that story is we got in a taxi to go out that night. There's myself, my mate, Nicole and her friend. And we get in the taxi and Nicole put a seatbelt on. And I was like, what are you doing? She goes, safety is cool, Zac. Everyone wears a seatbelt. I said, no one wears a seatbelt in a taxi.
Cool.
Well, I didn't know Zac at the time, and everyone knows he wasn't really about risk management. Like, he's a bit more like wild.
So we went out that night, and then I ended up dropping Nicole home because I had to go to track work. And as I was close to my home, there's a roundabout that's a little bit like off balance, and it had been drizzling rain. And the taxi come around it, and he lost control, and he slammed into a power pole. And I didn't have my seatbelt on, of course. I ended up on the front windscreen. And I got out.
Safety is cool. You know that's a T-shirt, right? If you don't brand that, I will. Safety is cool. Come on, you've got to brand that thing.
I shook my head.
He's had to live by it ever since, because I'm like the safety management queen, and he's not.
Speaking of safety, when Zac rides and when you are home or wherever you may be and you're watching and you're witnessing a fall, I mean, as a mother, as a wife, as a partner, how does that impact you emotionally? What is that? Like, just explain to the people, because we look at it and we go, oh my God, it's a fall. Like, I hope they're okay. Like, but it's your life on that horse, really. I mean, it's the father of your children. It's your husband. How do you deal with that? How do you handle that? How do you get information? Like, how does that feel?
So even like you asking the question, I feel anxious, you saying it. It probably wasn't a real reality to me until the fall in December. You know, there's naturally, as you've discussed, Zac will pick up injuries here and there, but that was such a standstill moment. And it was probably the first time that I remember thinking, what are we doing? Like, for the majority of people, we're doing this for their entertainment. But then, obviously, after the fact, like just reflecting on that moment in particular, and I knew he was okay and he was going to be okay, and he's laying in the hospital bed saying, I'll be riding, I reckon, in a week. And I'm thinking,
Zac for you.
I was thinking,
there you go.
Okay, this is where I remember how important, for example, that premiership was. Like, he was so driven. And then I remember, okay, it's for most people's entertainment, but it is our livelihood, and he's born with a gift. And Zac's, you know, my opinion always matters, but I don't want to be the reason that he stops doing it because I'm scared.
There've been a couple of moments. So when Ty Anglin had his fall and obviously ended up
That was
as a quadriplegic,
Yeah.
that moment for all the wives was a difficult one, and Nicole wanted me to stop riding at that point in time. And
Well, no, it was Beedman that fell in
Beedman in the
it was
trial,
Beedman that fell in the trial. And that was another tragic.
yeah, so Ty's one was quite simple. We come out of the gates and his horse stumbled and he just went straight down and landed on his head, and it was just in the wrong spot. And Nicole wanted me to stop after that, and you know, I had to tell her, you know, this is what I do. It's, you know, it's going to be fine. You know, things will sort themselves out, and then they did. But in that fall in December, obviously Nicole was at the races, so our kids were downstairs, and Nicole didn't know, but someone downstairs had told the kids, "Oh, your dad's had a bad fall." Nicole come running home.
Because you were obviously thinking about them to make sure they were okay as well.
I also had to come back to arrange them for me to then go to the hospital.
They're asking Mummy what's happening. She's like, everything's okay, blah, blah, blah. And she took off to see me at the hospital. So they had to go to bed not knowing what had happened to me. So when they seen me the next morning, the look on their face, like I never want to see that again.
No.
That's heartbreaking.
For them also, just being able to see you walk through there, must have been such a huge relief.
Yeah.
But this is what I think people do forget sometimes, is like it's not entertainment for us.
Yeah.
Like
it
is our life, and we're very well aware of the risks. But like I said, there was that discussion of, is enough? But he wanted that premiership very badly.
And since you brought that up, there's no better time to talk about it than now. Wow.
Well, I went from 18 winners in front I was when I fell, and when I come back, I think I was 18 winners behind. So I was like, oh man, this is, like, it felt cruel, like it was just taken away from me.
And
but
we couldn't leave either, because we were here watching, like you couldn't leave during COVID, so of course you're having it all play out and you're defenseless, so to speak, not being able to get out there and do it.
But I thought I'll fight, I'll see how I go. If I can start to get a bit more momentum, we'll see what happens. And as it turned out, did it go down to the last meeting that year?
Went down to the last meeting, you were both equal, and then you won by 4.
Yeah, I rode 4 winners on the last day.
That's incredible.
Not that I was keeping count or anything.
No. And or shouting and screaming at the TV and like disrupting the whole house. No, that doesn't happen.
It was
not with Nicole. No.
It was a difficult season for myself and Joe, because it was during COVID when we had the lockdowns.
Yeah.
He was injured with his hip problem.
That's right.
I had the fall. I'd try and come back from those injuries, and then the ongoing. So we were both at the physio, basically patching ourselves up between every race meeting to go out and do battle. And then it come down to the last meeting. So we were at the airport. Joe was going back to Brazil and we were going to Dubai. And we were both sitting there together, and I looked at him and he looked at me, and it was just like I was looking at a ghost. Like he was just white, empty, gone, and I felt like I looked the same. I was
gave
empty.
It your all. You both
we gave it everything.
All. That's amazing. Last season was pretty spectacular. And I think it was Joe was the season before, right? Because that was your goal, to beat that number.
And then Joe started. Did he start? He started.
He started, and then
he rode the first 2 meetings
of
the season just gone, and then pulled the pin.
So that was talk to me a little bit about it. Talk me through that. Why you wanted to be that number? What it meant for you? How you had to work? Did you have to work harder in any way? Did you have to change anything to accomplish that?
Of course, you got to work hard. I just got off to such a good start. I rode the fastest 50 in Hong Kong history, and the fact that Joe had decided to leave, it left a big hole, and I felt like, okay, I think I looked at all the stables I was riding for, and I looked at the position they were in on the table the season before, and I thought, okay, last season I rode, was it 138 winners?
Something like that.
I rode 138 winners, and I had the fall, and I had the injuries, and I wasn't at my best, but I still rode 138 winners. If I didn't have the fall, I think, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I would have been at 155, 160. The record's 170. So I'm thinking, okay, Joe's not here. I got this support. This is my moment in time. This is my opportunity. They'd also raised the weights from a minimum of 113 pounds to 115. So what that did, when the weight scale was 133 to 113, and I ride 120, there was basically 25% of every horse in every race I couldn't ride. But by putting the weights up 2 pounds, all of a sudden that gave me an extra few percentage points to be able to pick rides from. So I thought, okay, the weights have gone up, Joe's not here, I've got this support, this is it. I've started the season well, I can feel that this is it. So I stupidly said I was going to try and break the record. Like, what an idiot. As soon as I said that, it was just the constant scrutiny, battle and questions and interviews. It was just all about that.
Yeah.
I put myself under more pressure than I probably should have. And it ebbed and flowed. I had moments where I turned 40 and things started going pear-shaped a little bit. And, you know, the cold calm, and I don't like it when it's cold. And then we had a lot of meetings where it was raining, which was unusual.
Yeah, Hong Kong has been, the weather's
You don't normally get that. And things felt like they were sort of going against me a little bit. And then I don't know what point it was. At one point it just clicked again. And I got that focus back and I got that determination back. And from that point on, I think I was riding at about 30% the last few months of the season to get to where I got to. So yeah, you know, fortunately for me, it bounced my way and I was able to get it done, and it means a lot. And
that's fantastic.
I'm getting a collage made up.
I bet you are.
It's going to have every single horse I won on for the season, plus it's got a picture of the horse Magic Supreme that I broke the record on. It's going to have the first winner for the season, the 50th, the 100th. I rode my 1500th winner earlier in that season.
Remember?
Going to have the Group 1s in there. I rode my 1600th winner towards the end of the season. So it's going to have all those milestones slightly highlighted. And then I'm going to put it on the wall in the office. And I've got the colours from Magic Supreme. The owner kindly, he probably had no choice, because as soon as I won on the horse, I said, can I have the colours? Yeah. I said, I'll buy you some new ones. and he gave them to me. So I've got them, so I'm going to put it up in a big frame.
That'll be really nice.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. Well, you know, congratulations. That's a huge, huge effort. And you've really set the bar high. So Cash, tell me something. Do you really like horses? Mm-hmm. I noticed that you ride horses. Mm-hmm. Yeah?
What's the name of your pony?
Larry.
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 That's right.
We love Larry.
Yeah.
And what about you, Roxy? Do you like to ride?
Yeah.
And how old are you
Locked
now?
her up on top of the pony.
8.
You're 8. Wow. Okay, so you both like horses?
Yeah.
And you both ride?
Yeah.
Who's the best? Oh, you are.
You're the best. Cash is the best. Oh, really?
Who's your favourite horse, Cash? Who do you come and see when you're with Mummy?
Lady Racing.
Yeah, no.
Beauty generation.
He wishes.
Well, there you go. Well, you know, maybe one day.
We wish he'd come back, don't we?
They always say, we wish
Yeah.
Beauty Generation was here. Us too. Yeah. No, you love Connor, Mummy's horse.
Smiggles.
Oh, sorry, Smiggle. He likes
Smiggles.
to
Oh, is
call
that the name?
Yeah.
So tell me, you like to watch horse racing? Mm-hmm. And watching Daddy ride?
Yes.
Yeah. You think Daddy's the champion?
Mm-hmm.
You think he's the best? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you going to ride one day? Are you going to be a jockey one day?
No.
No?
He's going to be a builder.
A builder? Really? You like building things?
No? He will.
You like
He
digging
will.
things? You will. We'll
Anything
make
but
you.
being a jockey.
Yeah, exactly. And what about you? Is there anything you really like to do right now?
Video game.
Really? Maybe you can design a video game one day.
Oh, that would be a good
really
idea.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah? What is your favorite video game right now?
Roblox.
Roadblocks. Maybe you can show me quickly before you go out today?
Okay.
I was
Yeah?
hoping we could hone that into maybe architect or
Well, architect
town
there.
planner.
Yeah.
My friend already knows how to make knows how to make a game on Roblox, so we're thinking of what game we can make.
That's amazing. From this age, this is fantastic.
Cause she knows like how to work into Minecraft and then put like animals into it, and then she also knows how to do it in Roblox.
That's amazing because, you know, I don't know if they have this in Hong Kong, but maybe in Australia when you go back for a break, there are schools and universities that do robotics, and they do them for kids your age, around about anywhere between 8 and I think 15 years of age. So you can go in for like a couple of weeks or 2 or 3 weeks or whatever, and they have these little classes where they teach you about robotics. And maybe you can learn a little bit about that, and then you can incorporate that somehow in a game as well.
That's a good idea.
Yep.
Right?
Built Mummy a robot. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think that'll be great. That's fantastic. How about you, Cash? You said building. But building how? Are you building are you going to design a building, or do you like the digging of the earth and putting down the digging side of it? Okay. So you like the machines with building. Okay, I get it. Well, it was really nice talking to both of you. Thank you for coming on. And, you know, all the best to Dad this season and Mum. Like, Mum's got her own show going, so that's super exciting. And I saw your whole holiday on social media, by the way. It was fantastic. I wish I was with you guys in Hawaii.
Did you see their surfing?
Oh, my goodness.
They were
All of
loving
it.
that.
The surfing, they were loving that. You were good at it, too. Both
Much
of you.
better than mummy.
Until he fell off.
Oh yeah.
That was it.
He thought
Didn't want to do
he was
that
very
anymore.
clever until he fell off, and it was like being in a washing machine. He
Yeah.
said, "I don't want to surf anymore."
I don't like that wave. I don't like that wave.
But he got over it. He got back
that's
out there
good.
afterwards.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's like falling off a horse. You've always got to get back on, right?
What do we see when we're on the surfboards out there in the water?
Turtles.
Lots of turtles.
Really?
And what
Yeah.
else was out there?
Dolphin.
Dolphins. That's amazing.
And
So Hawaii.
Yeah.
stingray.
That's
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's a stingray.
Luckily, I was safely back on shore when
Yeah,
those
'cause
big animals were
yeah.
coming near us.
Not good for mum.
No.
Yeah.
So fish as well?
Yeah.
That's amazing. And you had all those amazing donuts that I saw and like these ice cream and weird drinks. You guys were just having a blast.
Remind me, I'm back on the kale salad.
So is he apparently.
Over it.
But yeah, it's over it now. Hawaii's in the past.
It's
Let's just leave it
enjoyable
there.
at the time, but
Yeah.
you pay for it later.
Well, that's great. It was nice to see you guys. Thanks for coming on.